Welcome to the October 18th, 2021 meeting of the Rotary Club of Jamestown. Please join me in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance, singing our national anthem, and repeating the four-way test. Let's repeat the four-way test of the things we say, think, or do. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? And our invocation today is given by Sue Jones.
Let us pray. Creator and sustainer, we are thankful for this day that you have given us, for its blessings, its opportunities, its challenges. May we appreciate and use each day that comes to us. We pray for strength and guidance for each day as it comes, for each day's duties, for each day's problems. Thank you for lending us your new angels, soldier and statesman Colin Powell, and District 7090 stateswoman, Rotarian, and dear friend, Karen Oakes. May we be challenged to give our best always, as they did, and may we be assured of your presence with us. Amen.
Thank you, Sue. Visiting Rotarians and guests, please welcome Vice President Ruth Lundeen.
So today we would like to welcome Donna Bale. Hi, Donna. Randy and Heidi Anderson back at the back table. Hi, welcome, welcome. And back there also is Peggy Sweeney and Todd Allen's guest, Denise.
Thank you, Ruth. Announcements. Our Rotary Yours recorder today is Chris Anderson. Many thanks to you and the Communications Committee for all you do for the club. Let's take a brief moment of silence in remembrance of our past district governor, Karen Oakes, who did pass away last week. District 7090 conference is scheduled for October 21st through October 23rd. Thursday, October 21st, there's a virtual conference event starting from 7 to 9, and then Friday on October 22nd, District Governor Ann is encouraging a day of service. For our club, we'll be doing the pedal for polio, and we've rescheduled our highway cleanup for Saturday, the 23rd as well. The conference has been changed to a virtual event, so everyone has an opportunity to participate. You can sign up on the district website. Thank you to all the committee and all the members and guests who attended the Oktoberfest last Monday. I think everybody had fun. I know my kids did. They asked me multiple times when we're doing this again. 71 people purchased event tickets, and we exceeded our goal and raised approximately $1,500. The membership committee and board of directors has reviewed and approved for membership in the club Stacy Rasmussen. Stacy is the director of Compeer and was a guest speaker in August. Please notify the club secretary in writing in the next 10 days if anybody has any questions or concerns. RCJCSF, we're going to have a quick meeting today after the new meeting. And then any additional announcements? Joni, committee chairs, anybody else?
I have an announcement. Can you hear me?
Okay, we have raised $1,000 for Pedal for Polio. Where do you want me to be? Right here? Can you see me? Go on. How soon
Here
I
we go.
forget. Okay, we've raised $1,000 for the raise for Rotary Pedal for Polio. Say that 5 times fast. Our goal is $1,725. So if you've not donated yet, you can donate this afternoon when I send you the email. Okay, that would be great. Thank you.
Thank you, Joni. Sherry, go ahead.
Yeah, I got an email from Jill Norton and it looks like we are going to have a youth exchange program this year. So I'm thrilled about that. We are having a training coming up and I'm going to have to start talking about some recruitment. So if you're on the committee, look for an email about setting up a meeting. And if you want to be on the committee, please call me, email me, message me, whatever. We would love to have any of you that are interested. Also, look for host families. Please.
Any other announcements? Yeah.
So we also have a visiting Rotarian virtually, Taylor Scott.
Fifty-50. Please welcome Kathy Birch. Fines and happy bucks. Give a hand to our Sergeant at Arms, Doug Conroe.
Thank you, and happy bucks we're looking forward to today because there aren't a lot of fines. You'll be very pleased at that. Tim had to leave early and missed a few, so he helped us out quite a bit there. Thank you. Our local sports, our high schools are doing great on local sports. Maple Grove men's soccer won the Chautauqua Cattaraugus Athletic Association Central Division title. And Frewsburg ladies soccer won the similar title. So I'm sure if we have some Frewsburg and Beavis Point Maple Grove people in the room, they might want to step forward and express the happiness over their school's performance. Hey, Frewsburg, and I see a Beavis Point Maple Grove coming up. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And that's what the newspaper brought to us. Here again, Rotarians, let's get out in the community and do. And smile for the photograph in the newspaper that I know you'd like to have. This was a momentous day in the formation of our country. Oh no, who said that? Pat, okay, your table. And in 1781, what happened in Yorktown? Anyone know? Anyone? Time's up. Story? No? Okay. Cornwallis surrendered. The end of the revolution. The United States started to become a reality. I see Vince is pulling money out quick. Maybe some others will. Okay. And there are some other interesting tidbits today. Someone's folly occurred in 1867. And Seward's purchase of Alaska. Isn't that great? So anyway, football season. Perhaps we have some alum that are proud of their colleges. Clemson. I think we have a Clemson grad in the room. Hey, hey, hey. Michigan State. We need somebody to give for Spud. We need Spud back. We got to get him back here. UB, Buffalo grads. Miami of Ohio. Pittsburgh. Remember Ken Strickler. Air Force, Muhlenberg. Are you online, Dan? Allegheny. Must have an Allegheny grad or two here. Cortland, Grove City, Ithaca, Alfred, Worcester. I think we have a Worcester grad. Case Western, John Carroll, U of R, Baldwin Wallace, Brockport. Oh, let's see. Yeah, okay. Yeah, we're doing an audit here. And I think it's, whoa. And I believe, Mr. Chairman, it's time for some happy bucks.
Happy bucks. Come on up.
Well, it's great to be back after a wonderful trip to New Mexico and the International Balloon Festival. We had a wonderful time, so I've got some money for that. Also, a big happy buck for the Literacy Committee and our quick response to President, or our president, Kevin's still president, right? President Kevin's suggestion that we promote Rotary Literacy Month to our libraries and local bookstores, which we did, and we had displays in Bemis, Lakewood, Falconer, and hopefully also Jamestown and Mayville. And also, Tori sent that message out, and that's how we got Falconer. So thank you for doing that. And let's see. I also want to put a buck in. I was going to be calling Dan, our speaker today, and saying, gee, I don't see a Rotary pin on your lapel. So I brought a Rotary magazine for Dan and a couple more bucks for my absence. Thank you.
Although there are Yankee fans in the room, there's been a lot of wonderful, wonderful baseball being played. And we're so lucky and so fortunate to have that. And to realize that Dave Roberts from the Dodgers played in the stadium down here. He was on the local team and he made his all the way to the major leagues. And you can go in to see Randy Anderson at the Chautauqua Smarts Hall of Fame. And there's some memorabilia there, which Mr. Roberts gave it to the late Frank Stefanelli when he and Bill Johnson traveled out to watch them play on the coast, and he made a good relationship. So that's the good things that happen in baseball. The great things in any of those sports activities that we have, and even if it's the marching band or whatever it might be, is what happens as you're a member of that team is the things that will last forever and ever and ever in your mind, and people unknown to you appreciate the sound of the music and the cheer for play ball and the cheer for thank you and the wonderful feeling that you get to see. It's a major league level and at the minor league level when the game is over, the players are all one team from both dugouts and both sides of the field. So it's a great time to play sports. Thank you.
Sometimes, as we gather here as Rotarians, we forget who we're actually sitting with. And about a week and a half ago, Lisa and I had the good fortune of attending an event called the Joseph Dwyer Peer-to-Peer Program. And we were fortunate to sit at a table with a colonel who was in his original uniform, which is striking. Vince, you look great. I'm sorry I didn't give you a better salute, but I'm just a civilian.
I'm putting in $5 for a couple of things. I just want to say what a great time the Rotary fundraiser was last Monday for those who could come. And I don't know if you mentioned, because I came in late, which is also why I'm putting money in, if you mentioned what we raised, but I want to put in $1 for Ruth Lundeen, who entertained my children while I was there. And they had a great time and they painted pumpkins and did all kinds of fun things. And then I want to just to follow up, I think, on what Russ said about sports. I'm not really a sports person, but I went to a Rebels game on Saturday and it was a lot of fun. And I was chatting with my friend who was there with me, and we were just talking about how nice it is to have minority, or what do they call them? Not minor leagues. Sorry. This is how much I know about sports. I know they try to get the puck in that net, that I know. But so anyways, but it's so nice. There was a lot of families there, and it was really wonderful to have just a place for families and people to go to watch sports and have it be a community event. And so I think that we're just fortunate in Jamestown to have things like the Tarp Skunks and the Rebels, in a place where families and anyone of all ages can spend time. So thank you.
Okay, one more.
I'm just happy to tell you we have one more chance to do highway cleanup, and that's this Saturday. Be there or be square.
Thank you. Paul Harris, please welcome Greg Jones and Joni Blackman for a Paul Harris Award presentation.
Thank you. It's always a pleasure for me to present another Paul Harris Fellow to a deserving recipient. Our club has 278 Paul Harris Fellows, and contributions to the Rotary Foundation total over $407,000. Well, thank you. While that is a record to be proud of, when I look at the Paul Harris list on our website, I don't see dollar signs. I see the names of people, many of whom I know, that have been or are major contributors in volunteer time spent in leadership roles in our many not-for-profit organizations. Names that pop into my head: David Blossom, John D. Hamilton, Reg and Betty Lene, and may I say Susan Jones, just to name a few. So if you have never taken a look at the Paul Harris list on our website, I would urge you to spend a few minutes to do so. If you don't find your name on that list and you are interested in perhaps gaining that, by all means, feel free to call me. It is an easy thing to do. I also have to mention that October 24th is World Polio Day. And as Rotarians, we can be very proud that we initiated and continue to lead the effort to eradicate polio throughout the world. Many did not think that we would ever succeed in India, and we did. Pakistan and Afghanistan are on our last two challenges. So hopefully we will get there. This next thing comes from something I used to do to mothers who brought little Johnny in for contact lenses. And I would mention, well, sometimes teenagers are not quite the most, well, not most sincere people in giving good hygiene to their contact lenses and washing their hands. So I oftentimes would mention maybe the benefits of daily wear contact lenses that you threw away every day. And that was a little bit less back in my day, less than $1. And mom would say, oh, that is so expensive. And I would say, well, actually, it could be free. And then I would ask the question, do you ever go past Tim Hortons or go to Starbucks and get a coffee mocha floca and a muffin? And they said, well, yes, I do. Well, I would say on Thursdays, don't go. And the $7 you save makes little Johnny's contact lenses free. So I kind of took that and said, maybe that's how we should consider contributing to World Polio Day. So if you go to Tim Hortons, or if you go to Starbucks, I know Todd does, I'm going to ask him to skip one day, okay? And the average is about $6 or so. And if you skip a day or so, it is pretty easy to get up to $30, which will vaccinate 6 kids who will never see polio. So think about that. It's an easy way to do that. It is also very easy to contribute. You can go to our website, which has a link to Rotary International. And there is a website there on End Polio Now. You can click on that and easily give. And I'm sure if you saw Kathy, our treasurer, she could also take some money for that too. She's very good at taking money. So anyhow, it's a wonderful thing that we have going on in Rotary, and it's a pleasure. Our recipient of our Paul Harris Fellow, once I get going, is going to be very easy for you to guess. So I'm going to give you a few things I found out about this person. This person was born in Olean, New York, but raised in beautiful Franklin, New York. This surprised me, or maybe it didn't. He was voted most likely to succeed in high school. As he says, only God knows why. However, that designation allowed him to receive an academic scholarship to Elmira College in 1991. He graduated with a bachelor's in international business and a minor in Espanol. I can attest, su español es muy bueno. The poor boy, and I say this from my deepest heart, the poor boy spent his junior year in college studying abroad in Madrid, Spain, and 3 months working in the UK, mostly in Edinburgh and London, completing his college externship. He joined our club in 2008, proposed by Tim Edberg. Thank you, Tim. And he was past president in 2014 and 2015. He lives in Lakewood with Reggie and Steve, both of whom have 4 legs. He enjoys traveling, target shooting, and driving his 2000 Corvette a bit too fast. So most of all, Todd enjoys spending time with his girlfriend, Denise. I'm glad you're here, and her daughter, Julia, and their families. It is my distinct pleasure to present our newest Paul Harris Fellow, Todd Allen, to our club. So Susan? Yes. John, you can give the pin to John and he will present that pin to Todd. And this new pin has 3 sapphires, which denotes his 3rd Paul Harris Fellow, actually 2 sapphires and the pin. Usually we drop it on the floor. It's a tradition. It's fine.
Okay, we'll worry about it later.
We'll worry about it. And I'm going to give this to you if you want to say a few words, Todd.
Yeah. Picture. Well, thank you very much, Greg. I'm a bit embarrassed because of COVID. I haven't been very often. I'm going to make a change in that going forward. And truthfully, I'm so glad to see all of you here today. So everybody happy, healthy, and that Rotary is just as strong as ever. So thank you very much for everything.
Congratulations. Todd's $1,000 donation to the Rotary Foundation afforded him the opportunity to present a Paul Harris Fellow to another deserving recipient. And when Todd and I discussed that, he said, you know, I really want to give a Paul Harris Fellow to an individual who's made a good contribution to our many not-for-profit institutions and organizations within the city, and making this city a place to have a lot of fun to work and play. Thanks to Todd's generosity, I get now to move on to that. So here's a little bit about our next Paul Harris Fellow. Our newest Paul Harris Fellow is a long-term resident of the area, graduating from Jamestown High School and SUNY Fredonia with both his bachelor's and master's degree. He became a teacher at CC Ring and at Jamestown High School, where he was the first coach of the Jamestown High School girls soccer team. He was twice Post-General Coach of the Year and the Western Niagara Frontier Women's Officials Coach of the Year. He is one of the founding members and board of directors of the new Jamestown Tarp Skunks. I would love to know how they came up with that. If you have had the pleasure of going to a Tarp Skunks game, and I have, you probably saw him welcoming the crowd and thanking them for their support in baseball in Jamestown. He attends most games, I am sure. In addition, he's published, I've learned some things about him I never knew. In addition, he has published a baseball history book, Our Game from Unknowns to the Tarp Skunks, 155 Years of Baseball in Jamestown. He is known as the local premier stock car racing historian and authoritarian. He was involved in several movies on local racetracks. In addition, he served 30 years as the member of the pit crew of the Dick Barton race crew, winningest driver at State Line Speedway. So I probably saw him there sometime. He is currently the president of the Sports Hall of Fame, where he has led numerous efforts by the Hall of Fame to tell stories of the rich history of sports in Chautauqua County. However, I am sure his greatest pleasure is living in West Ellicott with his wife Heidi. Please welcome our newest and very deserving Paul Harris Fellow, Randy Anderson. No, you're going to handle it. So I'm going to ask Todd to come up here too. And Todd, you were our newest Paul Harris Fellow, but now you're not. But anyhow, I would like you to present Randy with his Paul Harris certificate, please. And John Healy, could you please present him with his lapel pin? And I would ask Sue Jones to please present him with his Paul Harris medallion. And Randy, I also have to add that it is tradition that you wear that on your jammies one night. So that's what you have to do. So, so Randy, if you would like to say a few words, the mic is yours.
I'm not often taken by surprise. I'm usually the guy planning things instead of the one being punked. I guess that's what you say now, punked. But I'm shocked. I don't know who's responsible, but thank you so much. It's a real pleasure for me to be here. I've always admired the work of this club and so many of you that work so hard for our community. I guess I want to thank my wife, Heidi's. You rarely see me without Heidi. She's
she's with me for all these crazy things that I get involved in, except probably State Line Speedway. She's not a big fan of the racetrack. But, well, again, thank you. Thank you so much. No way. Where?
And your good brother. They hid themselves.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, Candy and Felix. Well, thank you. Everybody's in on this except Randy, apparently. Yeah, I'm thinking I'm showing up for another reason. Again, thank you so much, everybody.
Don't go away. We have to have a Todd. So I would like Todd, you over there, so we can get a photo. And let's have John stand there. And I'm going to be right back here.
You look at Randy first, okay? And Heidi. Got it? Sure? Okay. So fellas.
Where's your mic?
Thank you. Now onto our program. It is my pleasure to welcome Kirk Young from the program committee, who will introduce our guest speaker, Dan Heitzenrater, President and CEO of the Chautauqua County Chamber of Commerce.
Sean. All right, it's my pleasure to introduce our speaker today. I'm grateful for Dan and his taking time out of his day to come and visit with us. So Dan Heitzenrater is the president and CEO of the Chautauqua County Chamber of Commerce. He previously served as the executive assistant to our last three county executives. Growing up in Chautauqua County, he attended Jamestown Community College and SUNY Fredonia. He lives in Faulkner with his wife, their daughter, and their dogs. He is active in our community as a member of the JCC Board of Trustees, Chautauqua Leadership Network, Cornell Cooperative Extension Board of Directors, the Audubon Community Nature Center, Jamestown Skeet Club, and the Peacock Masonic Lodge. Please join me in welcoming Dan Heitzenrater.
Good afternoon, everyone on Zoom. Thanks. So I appreciate the opportunity to join everyone today. I'm going to add to my resume, I think, professional Rotary speaker filler-inner, because last week I was with Fredonia's group, was happy to join them as well. So but it's great to be here. I had an opportunity few years ago with Vince to attend a few meetings, probably help with a few state of the county presentations over at the Jackson Center. And it's obviously such a great group and so many familiar faces, the way that so many in the community are involved in Rotary. So I have gotten a message from Greg Jones and had a conversation with Tori about potentially joining. So I appreciate a few jabs before the right hook. That's I'm sure is coming, but I'm sure I'll be here soon. So thank you. But I don't really have anything formal today. I just thought I would keep it conversational and certainly appreciate, any dialogue and questions. I'll tell you a little bit about myself and about the Chamber of Commerce. So as was highlighted in my biography, Chautauqua County native, born and raised. And when I was getting ready for college, it was important to me to stay local, as I'm passionate about our area and our community. So I did go to Jamestown Community College, had a tremendous experience there, and really, yeah, for JCC, how about that? Good. But a lot of opportunities at JCC that I think really set up sort of my path and personal professional development, if you will, and transferred to Fredonia, and also afforded me obviously the opportunity to kind of live in both areas of the two of the areas of the county, I should say. So I've always been very familiar with our county and our communities and passionate about that. As was mentioned as well, I sort of got my start in my professional career. I was at a meeting where Vince Horrigan was being proposed and confirmed as a candidate for county executive, and went up to Vince after the meeting and introduced myself and said, would be happy to, volunteer with you and kind of whatever you need. And a few months later, Vince called me and we started kind of working together. And I think I can speak for myself, certainly turned out to be much more than I would have ever expected. And I suspect for you as well. But a while after Vince became county executive and I was still kind of working in my existing jobs at that time, I had the opportunity to go work with Vince at the county. I also, at the same time, had the opportunity to work with Congressman Reed's local office doing constituent casework. And I think that really, for me, for my time working in government and working and getting involved in the community was very good, because I've always been involved in a lot of customer service. And that's how I kind of view my work in government and also at the chamber. It's really customer service, right? Whether it's the people of the community or the businesses of the community. Anyway, I am very passionate about public service and enjoyed my time at the county and working in government. But the posting and opportunity to apply for the Chamber of Commerce had gone out, and I thought the Chamber has always been an organization I've enjoyed working with. They have a great team. So I figured I would put my hat in and kind of see where it goes. And here I am today. So I think, as I kind of just mentioned about customer service, the Chamber is very similar to my work at the county. So it's been a very enjoyable time so far, very exciting. Obviously, there's a lot of things going on as we are sort of emerging from the pandemic. And I'm very happy to be there for our business community and our members. As part of my coming into the Chamber of Commerce, they did some restructuring. So you're probably familiar that the last many years, Todd Tranum has been the leader of both the Chamber of Commerce and the Manufacturers Association of the Southern Tier and some of the other satellite organizations we have. And in some of the strategic planning, as they were looking for a new director, we have sort of separated back out. So we are still co-located and what I kind of refer to as sister organizations, but not necessarily under that singular umbrella, which I believe for our team and I think all organizations has been very beneficial, because we can kind of focus back in on our work as a Chamber of Commerce and a Manufacturers Association to make sure that we are doing, what our members and the business community expects from us. So you are probably most familiar with the Chamber for our Shop Local programming. So we have a lot of exciting things going on with that, especially with the upcoming holiday season. And certainly we're all hearing about the supply chain issues and potential shortages on store shelves. So I would encourage everyone certainly to shop local when you are doing your holiday shopping, and we should have fewer of those issues if we're supporting local. But we obviously have the Shop Local CHQ gift card that has been, previously the Chautauqua gift check, and transitioned to a gift card that is a great program. I think it works great. And last year, so we have over 140 local businesses that participate in accepting that card. And last year, with all of the cards purchased, whether by individuals or companies, we had over $80,000 that was, invested and kept in our local community through support of that program. And then those cards being used at those stores. We also last fall launched the Shop Local CHQ online marketplace. So if you go to shoplocalchq.com, it was important as a lot of our businesses were closed, whether it was from regulations due to the pandemic, or they do that analysis with how hard things got and we're not able to maintain a storefront, so they are able to list products. And If you haven't checked it out, you definitely should. I like to call it our local Amazon. So as a consumer, you can go and all of the vendors that participate on there, you can browse all of these different local sites, and then the website aggregates your purchases into one checkout. So it's really easy for you. You could buy something from 3 different stores in Chautauqua County, but you only check out one time, and then it sends a notice to those vendors that they need to ship these items to whoever that customer is. And then another exciting piece to our suite of shop local products, I guess you could say, or initiatives. We are working on a number of initiatives with community partners, including the Gebby Foundation. And related to those projects is a pop-up, or I like to call a pop-in retail store. So it's still pretty infant, but we are working with the Resource Center, and this will be an opportunity for we kind of see it as an incubator, I guess you could say, for vendors and artisans who maybe want to test new products, figure out their price points, different things like that. Or maybe it's someone who is trying to grow and build their way up to their own storefront. This would be a space where they can rent shelf space and get some technical advisement. And obviously, we hope to grow them to the point that they're on their own. And working with the Resource Center also provides a workforce component for the clients that they work with to get some retail customer service training, and then hopefully be training kind of that workforce base to go out and work for other retailers in the community. So that's a few of the exciting things we have going on. We have many other initiatives, obviously, that continue to go, and it's an exciting time. I will say, as a member organization, and I think this is true across the board for most member organizations, it's challenging. You always have to trying to get those new members, maintain your current members, make sure people understand the value, and that is something that we're always working on. And I'm looking forward coming into the organization to do some strategic planning and looking at, what the chamber currently provides, what people enjoy, what's working very well, and where we need to improve. So certainly always would appreciate that feedback if you ever feel so inclined to reach out. So I guess that's a quick, brief overview of a few different things. And like I said, I don't know if anyone has any questions or wants to have a conversation. I appreciate it. Sue. Yeah, that's correct. So that's one I should have mentioned. We are, because of our location, so our office is at 300 North Main, which is the corner of 3rd and Main, right across from Lucy Desi across Main Street. And it's obviously a fantastic location downtown, especially in the busier months when there's a lot of foot traffic. So it seemed like a natural location where working with the Visitors Bureau and Gebby Foundation and other community partners, our chamber office will be a visitor center looking to launch next spring. Formally, I should say formally launch. We probably already get walk-in traffic, at least one person a day who stops in, they maybe see the sign or just want information on what's going on locally. So I think that'll be a great location where businesses and community members can direct people if they're coming in from out of town, or maybe you walk by them on the street and can tell they're like a little bit lost. Send them to the corner of 3rd and Main, and we will make sure they get out and support the community. Just related to offices as well, I would mention that we had a office location at JCC North County Extension Center previously before the pandemic, and due to all the regulations and different things at that time, we closed that location, but happy to sort of announce that we're reopening that location. We're getting some things moved tomorrow and getting final items set up, but I think that'll be great to have a location in sort of both ends of the county again as well. Awesome. Very good. Yeah. Thanks, John. Thanks, everyone. Good to meet you.
Thank you, Dan. One of Rotary's major international programs is to eradicate polio in the world. We are down to just 2 countries in the world where polio exists. In honor and thanks for your presentation to our Rotary Club today, we will make a donation in your name that will vaccinate 4 children who will never experience polio in their life. And we ask Rotarians, remember this year's Rotary International theme, serve to change lives. And with that, we are adjourned. Thank you.